afterwards, and you'll see, hold on a second, where did all of these good deeds come from? It came from this one donation you make today, inshallah, bi'idhnillah. And you can do that by phoning in on 0116 482 2086, or you can drop us a text or WhatsApp, and we can forward you the link, inshallah, which is 077 488 55055. Alhamdulillah. And we still have those 2 spaces for the kids iftar party. If you want to win them, then give us a call, inshallah, and let us know your donation, and we'll put your name down. Alhamdulillah. But honestly, Ustad Ismail, I think one thing that you've touched upon, which is amazing, is the fact that this person who you helped today, inshallah, bi'idhnillah, with whatever donation you're able to make, like you mentioned, you could do 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds, whatever you're able to make, that contribution will go so much further than anyone really can see. Alhamdulillah. And for you, Ustad Ismail, if you want to just give the listeners just your little words of wisdom as to the importance of Islamic knowledge and how that has helped you in your journey, alhamdulillah, to today, that would be great, inshallah.
Yeah, most definitely. So the beauty, like mentioned, is when someone starts studying it, it opens your eyes. You're aware of the beauty of Islam. You increase your love of Islam. You increase, the fear as well, and the yearning for Allah. And it all comes as one package. And when a person starts yearning, they also want other people to join this as well. So, for example, when a person starts studying and they just love the class, alhamdulillah, and they're like, wow, when you have those moments, maybe you're studying fiqh, why did I know that? Oh, I need to do that. So it really transforms a person, and it uplifts a person. Therefore, a person decides to tell all of his friends and family about it, or those people who he knows would potentially want to do this as well. So, for example, alhamdulillah, when I completed courses, I told people. Then they further told people. So this is the beauty as well, is that when one person starts studying, that inshallah 2 people come after that, and then they tell one person, then you get 2 more people, 4 more people, and it really does expand. That's why maybe Ustad Bilal did or didn't mention, but quite a few people who do join, it's because they've been recommended. So, for example, someone's done the course and mentioned it, and they said, look, you should join, and alhamdulillah, people do. It's something that, we do see that it maybe, people should try to study as much as they can, because it does become hard, especially with the lives we live. It can become a distraction as well. And, meaning the world is distraction, and you think, I'm not going to have the time. But there is a lot of barakah in that, and I really, really do recommend people studying, because it helps you in your day-to-day life. It helps you with impacting your family, for example. And just sometimes, for example, even from studying, you may just learn not to talk, which is, but sometimes you learn when to talk, when not to talk. And the one thing as well I'd like to add, because going through university in the UK, and many people have a lot of confusion nowadays. The thing with something like Medina Institute is you get time to ask scholars. You get time to ask your questions to scholars, rather than people who, for example, it may be friends or people who haven't, for example, spent time with people of wisdom. And what I mean by that is, for example, sometimes people will go to a university setting and we learn some knowledge, and we go home and we're taught to be like, you've been doing it wrong, mom. You've been doing it wrong, dad. You guys are, you deviates. And these things do happen. We have many people who we know who do this, because somebody goes and says, brother, have you seen this? And they're like, whoa, I never knew. For example, they come across a hadith without any context, and they start going back home, and they've not learned wisdom, for example. So this is another beautiful thing when you have an institute where you can ask the Medina Institute, alhamdulillah, is great. This Ustad Bilal will tell you what was sending questions after questions. But the fact is, you can ask the questions which you can't get from a YouTube video. You can't ask follow-up questions, for example. Somebody says, this is X, this is a bid'ah, this is whatever they mention. You can't ask a follow-up question. You can't, for example, maybe someone has corrected something which we're doing incorrect, but you can't ask, okay, what's the wisdom now? How do I take that back home and implement that with my family? Because knowledge can be a light, it can be a beauty, and you inspire people around you. Or you can unfortunately do an opposite adverse effect, where you've heard something now and you think you know everything, and you start condemning people and you're turning people away. So this is why you've got the likes of these beautiful institutes. Alhamdulillah, Medina Institute in person now as well. Our year was slightly after COVID, so it was online. So it gives that great opportunity to spend the time with the scholars. And there's one point I'd like to mention, Saad, if that's okay, just on something which I used to hear from people a lot, which somebody may think, why are fees expensive? If that's okay, if I just go.
Yeah, Bismillah. We've got a few minutes, inshallah. So yeah, go ahead.
So sometimes, for example, people see course fees and they think, why is everything not free? Everything should be free. This is Islamic, this is scholarship. The thing which you have to understand is that, of course, scholars have to not have to have some money to survive as well, right? So people that is a part of it, that people do have to be paid for their time. Of course, they're doing it for the sake of Allah, but there is the thing of being able so they can live. So that's where some of the fees will go. Also, online things are not free as well. Whether people are using Zoom or these type of things, the things do add up, and people don't realize. I'll be honest, I used to sometimes wonder as well, why fees like that. But alhamdulillah, when you spend time with those who are organizing it, for example, Ustad Bilal, and you just generally get to know things. You're like, wow, subhanallah, like things do add up. Things are not cheap, for example. And when you look at the package, a lot of institutes, they're not making profit at all. The money is probably just some years, especially when they start off, just about covering things. And sometimes they may even be making a loss and relying on donations. And that's how it works, for example. So sometimes somebody may think, oh, that's quite a lot, but it's literally because there are so many behind the scene costs which people may not be aware of. For example, whether it's purchasing the books, whether it's provided the PDFs, whether it's using the softwares which are used. So there is a lot more to it. Sometimes people may just see a fee and think, oh, why do people not do things for free? Well, alhamdulillah, we had so many donations, which inshallah will be the case, that the price will go down and down and down where people provide and facilitate for this. So of course, inshallah, one day there will be a time where all the Islamic costs are provided for free. But because of the costs of things, if there isn't donations, then there has to be a charge.
Yeah, 100%. So, Ustad, sorry, I'm just going to cut you off just because we've only got about a minute and a half left, inshallah. And you did touch on something really important, which is that, alhamdulillah, our scholars, they do make a livelihood on their scholarship, many of them. It's very difficult for them to be able to dedicate the time to running a course as well as then having to earn a living. It's very time consuming. Then we wonder where they find the time for their families, etc. So our scholars, they do have a need, right, for the expenses to be covered. So alhamdulillah, jazakallahu khairan, Ustad Ismail, for your time. I'm going to let you go now, inshallah. And for my listeners, because we've got just less than a minute, inshallah, I just wanted to put this out there that alhamdulillah, I hope that you did donate, inshallah. And if you didn't donate and you would like to learn more about Medina Institute, please do, inshallah, contact us on social media. We are on Instagram. We are on Medina Institute Leicester. We are also on Medina Institute UK. We are on many different platforms on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can also access our global director, alhamdulillah, Sheikh Mohammed bin Yahya Ninawi. You can do that on Instagram at Sheikh Ninawi. You can also do that on TikTok at Sheikh Ninawi as well, and also on Facebook, alhamdulillah. So I just want to say jazakallahu khairan to everyone who did tune in, everyone who has made a donation, alhamdulillah. Please keep your donations coming in, inshallah. And I'm so thankful for this opportunity. Please keep me and Medina Institute in your du'as. Jazakallahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.